Well, good morning everyone, and of course, as you're aware, Josh and Mimi have been on Lorraine this morning. And the good news is, they actually interview pretty well, so well done them. Just a couple of highlights I'm going to give you here. The first is when they decide to talk about AYO. Just a disclaimer before you watch these clips. I'm on holiday with my kids. They were playing a game of Jenga in the room above me. At some point the tower collapsed. You can hear stamping, stomping, screaming, and yeah, it doesn't ruin it entirely, but it's most definitely there. So don't go on holiday with your kids.
Before, of course, you came across Josh. If I may take you back to the AYO days, are we allowed to talk about that now, or is that just like it's a chapter in the villa history, isn't it? There were many ups and downs in that early days, and I think anyone watching the Casa Amor moment when you came back from Casa Amor and you had decided you were going to stick the way you were, you came walking back on your own, and watching it at home is really quite painful. How did you feel realising he coupled up with Jessica?
Obviously at the time it wasn't nice, it was hard. Because obviously I stayed true to myself, and I'm glad I stayed true to myself. I'm glad I didn't feel any regrets for doing that. But I feel like what needed to happen happened, and it worked out in the end because me and Josh are good now. You know, we're in such a good place, and like I said, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and for the story to make sense, that needs to happen.
Well, you were very composed, and I think certainly for us watching at home, it's when we really fell in love with you, because I thought you handled it incredibly well, and you handled it with grace and style and class, and it just worked. But like you say, happened for a reason.
And the next bit for me that really stood out is when they talk about Joey Essex. And this really irks me, right? Because they talk about Joey Essex, they talk about how, yes, Josh talks about how he had confrontations with him and how they left it on good terms. And then for some reason, they then cut to this extra video that Joey and Jessie have recorded in a hallway somewhere in ITV to say, oh, we love you, Josh and Mimi, well done. Clearly recorded after they'd been on This Morning yesterday. But also, I think just a PR move, because I think Joey is really concerned that he'll be seen in a negative light for the way he behaved with Josh and Mimi, as will Jessie. And it just reeks of, once again, not being able to believe that Joey is genuine about this kind of thing. It's all a show that carries on for him, I think. Because I don't think this is genuine at all. I just think he's feeling like, you know what, better get the PR machine out there, better make it clear that I'm really glad they won. And Jessie better do the same so that we don't get further dragging in the press against this couple who won, who are gracious and forgiving. So yeah, that really annoyed me. But here it is, guys. Overall, it was a good interview. It was quite short. It could have had a bit more in it, but I was pleased to see that they both interviewed really well. So that's good news for those of us who were their fans on Love Island.
He was creating lots of headlines throughout the entire series, in fact. We all know he's he's a veteran when it comes to reality television, and he knows how to bring the drama. To be fair, he's done it plenty of times. What was he like to live with, firstly?
Surprisingly, when I first came in, me and Joey got on really well. Joey and I spoke every day. We were eating every day together, and we're just chatting about our lives. And he was like a very, very normal guy. Obviously, everyone saw what happened with me and him, the arguments. I wish it went a bit different with it, to be honest. But, you know, we've came out of there with no hard feelings for Joey. We actually wish him the best with Jessie, and we hope, you know, they find what they're looking for together.
Yeah, so there was that sort of butting of heads a little bit with you, maybe, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think in the environment that we're in, it's quite intense, and obviously in there everyone knows everyone's business, and we always have to kind of talk about that. But I'm glad that it was left in the villa. He apologised, and I'm not one to keep holding a grudge or anything like that. And we wish each other well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we got along with everyone at the most part anyway. Yeah. So.
Well, he wanted to have a little word as well. Yeah, here he is.
Oh.
Congratulations, Josh and Mimi.
We could not be happier for you. You're both amazing, and we can't wait to support you in the future.
Well done, you deserved it.
We love you so much.
We love you.
Aw, love you guys.
There you go. There's a lot of love, clearly.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like you say, you're in a sort of a different place now.